Hello out there in TV land.
Do y'all remember that time girlfriends tackled cultural appropriation? Let's get into it. So the episode starts off with Lynn displaying the most consistent 9 to 5 she had throughout the whole series, freeloading. Her family is coming into town and she's supposed to be staying in a hotel with them, but a hotel will cost money that Lynn most likely doesn't have. But instead of just saying that, she's going around Joan's house collecting stuff like pillows, towels, the duvet off the lady's bed, putting on a show until Joan finally says, "Lynn, why don't you and your sisters just stay here?" You know that's what she was waiting on.
Woo, finally, it took you all day to get a clue.
The reason Lynn's family is coming to LA is for her Gotcha Day.
Gotcha what? Gotcha who? Gotcha Day.
It's the day where they celebrate the day her adoption became legal. She says that she normally goes back home for it, but her family wanted to celebrate in LA with her this time around, leaving her with no choice but to finally introduce them to her girlfriends. All that sounds fine and dandy, but Lynn is being so weird about it that Maya asks her,
"Girl, what's going on?"
Can't keep you guys apart forever. What's wrong with them?
This is when Lynn explains that her sister Hillary is great, but her sister Tanya, well, she's Tanya. She's still being so weird and vague about it, causing Maya to ask if Tanya is uncomfortable around black people. Because you know Lynn is half black, but she was adopted and raised by an all-white family, and it shows.
I'm joking.
Anywho, Lynn quickly clears it up and says that Tanya isn't uncomfortable around black people. In fact, she's very comfortable, but she's still being so weird and strange about it that you're just left wondering what the hell is wrong with her sister, because it's obviously something.
Tanya's one of those people that's... Well, you know, if you don't like her, just keep it to yourself.
But Joan tells Lynn to relax, telling her that if they love her, they will love her sisters. Now it's the next day or a few days later, who knows, who cares, but Lynn's family has finally arrived. Supposedly her sister Hillary had a panic attack and didn't make the plane, so we are left with just Tanya and her scarf. And not even 2 seconds into her arrival do we see why Lynn was being so weird when it came to her.
This is my sister Tanya.
What's up?
I hate her already.
Now Lynn was adopted into a white family that was well off and she grew up in the suburbs, right? Tanya was born into that family. Follow me. Follow me. So why is she acting like the stereotypical token black friend in a white movie? That's the best way I can describe it.
I am the token black guy. I'm just supposed to smile, stay out of the conversation, and say things like, "Damn, shit," and that is whack.
And if her attire wasn't already a sign that she was about to be on some bullshit, Tanya then walks up to Maya and tells her, "Girl, your braids are tight. Who hooked you up?" Maya tells her it was her cousin Ronnie, who has a shop on Crenshaw called Situations.
Girl, I need to do something with this mess on my head, because I can't have these LA brothers see me look all toe up.
Look at how Tony and Joan are looking at Lynn. Exactly. She knew her sister acted like this, which is why she was so weird about them meeting her. Now look, Tony is uncomfortable. Joan is uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable. To take control of the situation, Lynn tells Tanya and her scarf to look at Joan's African pieces. She recognizes most of them and starts naming them by name. Lynn explains that Tanya spent 2 years touring Africa studying tribal rituals. Of course she did. After looking at the pieces, then Tanya turns to Joan and she tells her that she's happy to see that she's honoring her African roots, because Lynn had her sounding like Martha Stewart and she thought she was about to have to come in there and school her sister.
You done lost your damn mind. When you get your damn mind, you call me.
Girl, you are too funny.
Quickly picking up on the energy shift in the room, Lynn grabs Tanya and her scarf and leads them to the back, saying she's about to show her where she'll be sleeping. When Lynn and Tanya are out of earshot, Joan says that Lynn wasn't lying when she said that Tanya wasn't uncomfortable around black people. In fact, in my opinion, she's a little too comfortable.
Oh, whoa, now. You got too much dip on your chip.
Maya speaks up and says she thinks that Tanya is cool because she's just being a wigger. In her mind, that means a white person who loves black people so much that they try to act black. So I guess to her, Tanya's antics are okay because it just shows how much she loves black people. Cool.
White people love us.
Tony says she doesn't like when white people try to act black. Hell, she doesn't even like when black people try to act black. Joan says what I agree with the most. What is acting black anyway?
Like anyone can define that.
Well, I may not be able to define it, but I know Shaka Blonde ain't it.
Then some time goes on and now we're in Joan's office where she's telling William about Tanya and how she's getting on her nerves. And I can only imagine because Tanya would be getting on my nerves too. But at the end of the day, she's Lynn's sister. So everybody except Maya, who actually likes her, is trying to tolerate her for Lynn's sake. And now we're back at Joan's house where the girls are enjoying a meal that Tanya and her scarf made. Fried chicken, cornbread, black eyed peas, greens, and potato salad.
I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, rams, hogs, dogs.
Then Tanya asks Joan if they're going to get some music up in there. Joan says yeah, she was thinking something mellow like Enya.
Oh, hell no.
Tanya says she needs some hip hop so she can work her meal off because brothers like a big butt, but they don't like it too big.
Joan, you gonna leave his sister hanging?
Okay, you know what? That's enough.
Oh baby, that's the last scrawl for Tony. Lynn tries to stop her, but Tanya and her scarf just trampled all over her last good nerve. She goes up to Tanya and tells her that she's white and she needs to stop trying to act black. Again, Lynn tries to defuse the situation by saying let's not get into this right now, but Tanya says let's hear what the sister has to say.
You're a sister, not a sister. You're an
Then Tanya tells Tony, you're not acting like a sister with all that white hair stitched in your head.
Wait a damn minute.
Excuse me? Now, I like white people. I like their music. They movies be good as hell. All that good stuff. But I have never looked at the head of a white woman with desire. I don't think any black woman in her right mind is walking into the beauty supply store in search of Caucasian bundles. No, baby, I'm looking for a Brazilian 28-inch bust down, wet and wavy. That's what I want for Christmas this year. Anywho, Joan steps in and tells Tanya that she doesn't have to try to impress them anymore, that she can just be herself because the black act is too much. But to be honest, I don't think that Tanya is acting how she's acting to impress them. I really think this is how she has rewired her brain, so how she's acting is who she has deemed herself as. There has got to be some kind of mental illness. Then to further prove my point that Tanya is indeed working with a mental illness, she then tells Tony and Joan,
If it upsets you that someone white acts more black than the two of you combined, then that's on you.
imagine the nerve, the audacity, the pure gall of a white woman to say something like that to a group of black women.
Bitch, you out of order.
Then Maya steps in and tells them to just let Tanya be who she is. She says that there are plenty of girls from her neighborhood who act like that. My thing is, for some reason, I don't know if it's because of history or because of TV, but when a certain group of people of a certain color decide that they want to adopt black culture, there are only ever 4 major key points they rely on: soul food, hip-hop, ebonics, and Africa. I believe to them they think that's all it takes and means to be black, and that's not the case at all. There are black people who don't even like soul food or hip-hop. Hell, rap might be my least favorite genre. I ain't trying to hear nobody rapping all day. I like singing. I'm weird as shit and I can't even dance. Now I don't know what I threw those last 2 in there for, but I don't know, I just felt like saying it. But my point is, being black is not just those 4 things, but anytime someone decides to adopt black culture, it's only ever those 4 focal points: soul food, hip-hop, ebonics, and Africa. Like that sums up the whole race. And they only ever rely on the most stereotypical things. Like Tanya, I'm surprised she didn't come in there with a watermelon and some grape soda, cause that's how she's moving. Anyways, child, Joan ends up kicking Tanya and her scarf out, saying that she won't be insulted in her own house.
To put it in your chosen language, she's kicking your ass to the curb.
Now we're back in Joan's office where she explains everything that went down with Tanya to William.
This is the first time I've ever heard of a white person criticizing a black person for not being black enough.
During the midst of this, Lynn comes in trying to get Joan to move past the Tanya thing and still comes to her gotcha day dinner. But no, Joan stands on business and she tells Lynn to have Tanya come by earlier and she'll come by after she's gone. And now we're in situations Maya's cousin's Ronnie's shop where Tanya is getting her hair braided. Then Lynn comes in and tells Tanya what happened with Joan. She says that she knows Joan is overreacting, but she wants Tanya to be the bigger person because she still wants everyone to come to her gotcha day dinner. But Tanya isn't going for it. She says that she's not going to apologize for being who she is, and if Joan and Tony don't want to come, forget them. Then she tells Maya that she can still come because she's a honorary sister. Now, things have already been crazy in my eyes, but this is where they're about to go from crazy to insane. A song comes on the radio and Maya tells Peaches, aka Waldo, to turn it up. Now, currently on Netflix, if you go to this episode and go to this scene, it's a whole different song over it. The original song was Izzo by Jay-Z, and I guess Netflix didn't want to pay nobody, so they chopped the scene up and put a new song on it. But luckily for me, I was able to find the original scene. So boom, Maya and a lot of other people in the shop start singing and dancing right along with Tanya. Everybody is having a jolly good time until
To let them know what it look like when a nigga in a roadster.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
Maya Denise Wilkes, what kind of situation did you bring up in situations?
now everybody's shocked. I don't know what for. In my opinion, they made her comfortable enough to think that would be okay. Specifically, Lynn and Maya. Lynn grew up with Tanya, and she already knew she acted like that, and you can tell that's something she's not even comfortable with. That's why she was so weird about her meeting her friends, because she knew Tanya would be off-putting. She should have been told Tanya how she felt. Then you got Maya with her whole she's just wigging out thing, so I'm cool with it. The best way I can explain it is my if you give a mouse a cookie rule. It comes from that one children's book, but I like to use that to say that I try not to allow somebody to do one thing that will in turn make them comfortable enough to do something else. I feel like if something is rubbing you the wrong way, you should stop it at the door so people don't get too comfortable to do something else, or you shouldn't even start it. Like, for example, if somebody was to ask me to babysit, I don't like other people's children. I don't have any children of my own, and I don't like other people's children, so I don't like babysitting people's kids. So even if they were like, come on, just babysit the kids, it's only gonna be this one time, I ain't gonna actually do it no more, I would still say no, because if you give a mouse a cookie, they gonna want you to do something else. I gotta stop it at the door. I gotta not even watch them the first time, if y'all getting what I'm saying. In this case, Maya embraced Tanya and let her get away with everything else, and for some reason she thought that girl was gonna stop at the N-word. Why? Maya, Lynn, and every other black person who let Tanya walk around acting how she does and let her believe it was okay gave her the cookie. So why wouldn't she dip it in some milk? Now Maya is offended. Now, she wasn't offended by the attire, the scarf, the braids, the ebonics, the telling two black women that she acts more black than them. None of that offended her. She tells Tanya that she crossed the line, a line I would honestly say that Maya never drew. So how was Tanya to know rapping the N-word would be too much? Y'all letting her do everything else? Then Maya says to Tanya, girl, what were you thinking? Lynn chimes in and says that Tanya wasn't thinking, and she apologizes to everybody in the shop before she drags Tanya outside. On the outside, Tanya says she doesn't understand why everybody is tripping. It's not like she called anybody the N-word with a ER. She said it with a GA, but she says both variations of the word with her whole chest.
I was just singing a song. I don't know why everybody's tripping. It's not like I called anybody. I said.
Lynn tells her to just stop, that she can't use, sing, speak, or even think either variation of the word. Tanya says that the word is a part of hip-hop and it doesn't mean anything anymore. Imagine that, coming from a white woman, mind you.
Bitch, you out of order.
Lynn says, bitch, you sound dumb as fuck. Or at least that's what I heard, or that's what I wanted her to say. It was something like that. Then she tells Tanya that all her life she's been trying to rationalize why she acts the way she does, but at this point she don't care no more. This time Tanya went too far. Then she hits her with the same thing that Tony hit her with.
You're not black. Stop trying to be black.
Then again, Tanya has the nerve, the audacity, the pure and utter gall to tell a half black woman, oh, ain't this the trip? Now all of a sudden you're the authority on what's black? Well, yes, Tanya. Yes. Did you think it would be you? Come on.
Stop it. Get some help.
Anyways, then Lynn basically tells Tanya that what she's talking about doesn't matter because at the end of the day, when Tanya uses that word, only one of them gets hurt because there's pain behind it that Tanya will never understand.
Tell her.
Then Lynn tells Tanya that there are plenty of hotels near the airport. She should find one. Now we're back at Joan's house where Lynn tells Joan and Tony about what happened at situations.
Well, I just want to go on the record and say I hated her first. With her phony ass.
Then Joan wants to know about Tanya's whereabouts, but Lynn says she doesn't know and she basically doesn't care because Tanya is out of her life now. Then surprisingly, even though Joan was the one that kicked Tanya out of her house, she tells Lynn that she needs to make up with her because that's her sister.
Okay, she might not be the one you want, but she's the one you got. You need to work this out.
Anyways, now we're at Lynn's job. Tanya shows up and I won't lie, they made up rather quickly.
So we cool? No, but you're my sister, and I love you.
I love you too.
Tanya dropped 4 N-bombs, and one of them was with the hard ER, and all it took was a "I'm sorry" for Lynn to end up in her arms. Okay. Then Lynn finally questions Tanya about the one thing she's been wondering her whole life.
What is all the flavor about anyway?
Well, I started off doing it for you.
Tanya tells her that she started off doing it for her, but then somehow she found herself too. She says since there were no black kids in their neighborhood or at the school they went to, and since their parents didn't put in any effort in teaching Lynn about African American culture, she decided she had to pick up the slack. Now, I commend Tanya for caring about Lynn knowing about her other half. I do. But in my humble opinion, it was never Tanya's job to embody black culture and try to teach it to Lynn. As a white woman, I believe that's just something she can't do. I feel like the only person who could teach a black person about black culture without it being just a bunch of stereotypes is another black person. Because if not, you get somebody like Tanya. Tanya says she found herself in black culture because she likes cornbread, potato salad made the right way, hip-hop music, and sleeping with black men.
Ooh, don't forget how much I love the brothers.
That's what she said. So she's telling me that because she likes those things, that gives her a right to go around acting how she acts. That gives her a right to say the N-word, and that gives her a right to tell 2 black women who were born and raised black women that she acts more black than them. Do you not understand how that sounds?
Is this camera on me?
Yes, it's on.
That's stupid. Use your common sense.
I like music from other cultures. I like movies from other cultures. I like food from other cultures. The men and women from other cultures be fine. You know, given the opportunity, you know, I don't discriminate, but that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. We all over the place. Let's bring it back. Where was I even going? What was even the point? All I'm trying to say is that means that you like some shit. That's all that means. But now I'm realizing that Tanya had a mental illness and she was dealing with the identity crisis. She was crazy. Now, it would be one thing if Tanya grew up around black people. I know there are people of other races who grew up around black people, so I wouldn't say they act black, but they were organically influenced by the type of black people they grew up around, because again, there's all types of black people. But in Tanya's case, she grew up in a white neighborhood in the suburbs with a white family. They adopted a half black child. She started studying black culture and decided that she found herself in it. How do you find yourself in somebody else's culture to get so comfortable that you go around perpetuating stereotypes? I don't find it flattering. I don't care if she liked black culture that much that she wanted to be like a black person. That's insane to me. That's crazy to me. I don't get that. I ain't understanding that one, Joe. Never mind, I was about to go into a whole freaking rant. I gotta finish recapping the episode. Where I'm at with it. Anyways, now we're back at Joan's house for the last time, and it's finally Lynn's gotcha day dinner.
The day we brought you home, our family became complete.
And I guess everybody just decided they were gonna allow Tanya to be who she deemed herself as, with her Alicia Keys braids.
Malcolm's probably turning in his grave.
And that's basically how the episode ends. I'm not gonna lie. I hate this episode of Girlfriends. Oh, when this episode comes on, I quickly skip it because it's so annoying and it always runs my blood pressure up and it's irritating. And I don't like to watch stuff that irritates me. I don't know, again, I don't understand how one gets so deep in somebody else's culture that they think they found themselves there. And even if you think you found yourself there, you think it's okay to go around acting like the stereotypical token black friend in a coming to age white people movie. Nobody I know in real life acts like that. Only black people on TV and in movies in the early 90s or late 90s, early 2000s act like that. Maybe that was the most annoying part, because you say you studied black culture and you found yourself in it. That's what you found? Like I said, it was okay for her to like what she liked, and it was okay for her to like black culture, but like I said, my if you give a mouse a cookie rule, I think the people in her life should have been told her that wasn't the move. Lynn should have been told her that was uncomfortable. Maya should have been encouraging it, talking about she's just being a wigger, because if you give a mouse a cookie, they gonna call you a nigga.